Do you have a boyfriend? I was hoping you get to it. How long your boyfriend been your boyfriend? 3 years. Genesis 2:24. That's another thing. Do you have children? Okay, so you and him have children. Okay, let me show you what the Bible says. Because that's something that's a problem in our community. Has he said he wanted to marry you, anything of that nature?
Yeah.
Before y'all engaged? Okay, all praise. I'm gonna show you the Bible. What the Bible said. Read that.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife.
So he's supposed to leave his father and his mother, and he's supposed to marry you. He's supposed to make an honest woman out of you. So how long have y'all been engaged? A year and a half. What's I'm curious. I gotta hear. What's the holdup?
Just planning and everything.
Planning? You already got the kids. Well, planning for what? Justice of the peace. What? How much justice of the peace? About $60?
Yep.
About $60. Go down there and make it happen. Y'all can plan afterwards. Lord forbid something happens that give me 1 Timothy 5. I think it's 14. Because all praises that you're engaged, but y'all got to go ahead and get across that finish line. How many kids y'all got? Just one? Okay, y'all want more? Of course. So go ahead and finalize it. Can you call him, get him here? Yeah, okay, he worked. Okay, I'll pray. Well, now in a second. Listen to this. And somebody, y'all got something to write these down for? Give him the number so he can call and talk to us. Because all praises, he wants to marry you. And a lot of young men, they're not doing that today. Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14. I will therefore that the younger woman marry.
Because you said you were 24? Okay, so the scriptures say the young women marry, right? Marry first, okay?
Bear children.
See how it says to marry, and then it says to bear children. Read.
Guide the house.
And then you guide the house, because you have to educate the children. Your husband's out there, he's going to teach you the scriptures, and you're going to teach to the children. You know that Maccabees where it says endure the pains of educating? The 7? So he's going to teach you. He got to come in and learn. That's why it's important. Get him to call the number. Say, hey, man, I talked to some dudes in purple and gold. They want you to call this number because they have some information that's going to help us. We're here to help. Read that. You got it yet? Well, it says it's 2 Maccabees 7. Because you got to teach your children, but what are you going to teach them? It says you got to guide the house. We're not going to teach them to fall off the Lil Wayne. We're not going to teach them to sell drugs.
Right.
We're going to teach them God's commandments.
Right.
Read that. It should be. Where is it at? Endure the. Somebody look it up for me. Endure the pains of education. What's that? All right, go back to 1 Timothy 5. And I want you to hear that because it's not a hard job. It's a tough job to educate children because you got to learn how each one learns. He may have. Lord forbid, have like some type of learning disability.
Second Maccabees 7:27.
7:27. All right, yeah, that's it. Read
2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 27. But she bowing herself towards him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner: O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb.
So she's saying, I bared you 9 months. I carried you for 9 months in my womb. Read.
And gave thee suck 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education.
This ain't gonna be easy. Endure the troubles of education. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now, since 1 Corinthians 7:2. Y'all in the midst of fornication because you're not married. How's it going, brother? You're in the midst of fornication. How's it going, bro? We're going over fornication right now. Because a lot of times in our communities, we fornicate and we have children out of wedlock. But we can fix it. We can fix it with the scriptures. Read that.
1 Corinthians 7, verse 22. For he that is called in the Lord being... Verse 2, I'm sorry. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2.
Bring it out.
Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Say, let every man have his own wife. Read.
And let every woman have her own husband.
And let every woman have her own husband. I'm going to show you the steps that... Read on, come on.
Let the husband render unto the wife due due benevolence.
So that's after you're married. Because there's supposed to be some paperwork associated to that, Tobit 8 and verse 7. This is how it's supposed to go down. Before that, Exodus 22:16. Then we'll go to Tobit 8. It's steps to the process. But y'all already got a ready-made family, so you gotta go ahead and get that paperwork. That's what he needs to do.
That's right.
Read that.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 16.
Because you have a son. Do you have a son or do you have a daughter? You got a son. Okay, so he gonna have to, this is the steps that he gonna have to follow right here. Listen.
And if a man entice a maid,
So if he run game on a sister, he entice her, read.
that is not betrothed,
She ain't engaged, betrothed, she's not promised to anybody, read.
and lie with her,
He lay down with her,
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
he can't go back on that. That's gonna be his wife.
That's right.
That's the way it's supposed to go. What you got, bro? What's that? No, the way it works, like let's say for example, I have a son, and he has a daughter. Yeah, they got a child already. You see what I'm saying? So if you got a daughter and I got a son, you gonna come to me as we're both fathers, right? You gonna say, hey, look, I want my daughter. Ecclesiastes 7, I think it's verse 26. We're gonna come and deal together like men. You're gonna say, hey, look, I want my daughter to marry your son. We gonna set that up. And then there's a process, that approving process that takes place. Supervised, of course. Somebody elder in the sanctuary, they're gonna go with them while they're gonna watch them, make sure ain't no kissing, no touching, no freaky stuff going on.
Right.
He gonna look over it. This is why, read that, Exodus, that's it, right?
Sirach chapter 7, verse 25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding.
It said, give her to a man of understanding. Not little Ray Ray that likes to shoot up the block. You don't marry your daughter, you don't marry her to the around the way girl. Got more camel toed in Iraq. You don't marry that to your son. Because that's gonna cause a lot of problems. You marry them to men that have been shown keeping the commandments, the pattern of good works. That's who you marry your children to. Girl, read this, come on.
Tobit chapter 7, verse 16.
Get out.
And Reguel called his wife Edna, and said unto her, sister, prepare another chamber. Verse 14. And called Edna his wife, and took paper.
Jump up first. I want what the father gave her to him. Jump back to like verse, I think it's 12. Yeah, start that.
Verse 12. Reguel said, then take her from henceforth according to the manner, for thou art her cousin, and she is thine. And the merciful God give you good success in all things.
So they were praying. This is a prayer happening. It says the prayers that the Lord give them good success in marriage. Read.
Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father.
So the father called the daughter, and she came. She came. We have elders in our school. They're our spiritual fathers. So when you'll see the young ladies that are like, hey, they want to be married. If they have a father in the truth, they do have a father elder.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And he calls the daughter and say, hey, look, check it out. I got a brother over here. He got a job. First off, he's keeping the Lord's commandments. He's keeping the commandments. He's got a job. He's got the basic foundation. He's interested in you, improving you as a friend. Before a wife, you got to be a friend.
That's right.
I'm going to show you that next. I'm going to show you. Read.
She came to her father, and he took her by the hand.
So he took the daughter. You ever see how they do weddings today? The father walks the daughter down the aisle. That's what y'all waiting on? Yeah, so ain't nothing wrong with that. But the father always gave the daughter. That's why I said in Sirach 7, when you marry your daughter, it's a weighty matter. Because she's supposed to go from his house, the father's house, to her husband's house. That's the right way. We got to get back to it. Read it.
And gave her to be wife.
He gave her to be wife. Read.
To Tobias.
To who?
Tobias. Saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses.
He said, take her after the commandments, after the law of Moses.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.